Okay, so today we are going to be doing something a little different. Today we're going to be doing a little web scraping and text processing. So actually, you know what? I could just show you. Yeah, let's just get into it. So we're going to go to the desktop here. So what we are going to be doing, okay, so right now I just have a hello world, everything's set up. But what I have is this sort of data, right? And don't be alarmed, it is in Russian. I wrote this way back a while ago. And I just happened to write it in Russian because I literally have no idea why. But yeah, so I have a bunch of like text files that all have like they all have like movies and television show not television television shows that I want to get data for. Okay, so here's the end goal. The end goal for today is to get all of this data in a CSV file. But all I have in these text files are the titles of the movies. I do not have the actual data that I need for this file. So what we're going to be doing is first we're going to get every title in these files, and then we're going to take those files and scrape data for them. I think that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. Okay. So I think so. I wanted to do this project originally in C, but then in my sort of pre-stream little test that I did, C, I would have to handle Unicode for like the Russian names. I thought I already handled Unicode, but I would have to handle Unicode for the streams, and that would mean making an update to the internal library that I'm using, and I just don't want to do that. So, at least right now. So what we're going to be doing today is, we're going to be doing a little text processing. Maybe we'll do the text processing in C. I'm not too sure. We'll find out. So, right, and then my levels are on. Okay, good. Awesome. Because last stream, I streamed for about a half an hour before someone in chat told me fucking like, hey, your levels are off. So yeah, this is a one-off stream, by the way. We're taking a little break from the password manager, and we're gonna be doing this new project today. So I guess what I first could be doing is scraping the files. So that is pretty fucking easy. I have my so I guess path, yeah, or root. I'll call this root. I have my Go Palo Tools files utilities that I use, which are file dot, what is it? Path, right? Yeah, path. Path from, and I think that's just going to be /data, and I think we're just going to be doing the films for right now. And I don't have a Russian keyboard, so I'm just going to have to rename and copy. But yeah, Go strings handle Unicode by default, which is something I did not know. So we're just going to go mod tidy. Oh, go mod init. Forgot. Movies? Sure. Go mod tidy. Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right, and then we'll say the directory is file directory and is a new directory on this root. So then we'll say except file, or no, except is an exception. and is directory read. And then if directory, or if, no, except does not equal nil. I've been having some allergies lately, so I just, yeah. Except, panic. I think it's okay to panic. Whereas then we'll do for, I guess, var I, which is, oh shit, okay, so var I, just an integer, for I in the range of directory collect, item is directory collect at I, and then we're gonna say, we'll just print out item path string. Okay, and the item is an entry. Built. Okay, so we got all the paths. If you know Russian, you could probably figure out some of the things. Yeah. And then I want to also, actually, here, let's see if, like, if I could just print out the item, because I think item has a toString method. Yeah, it does. Okay. And then directory. Okay. Right, yeah, they look all good. Okay. So item does have a toString method, which is fine. So then, I guess I want to read that specific file, right? So I guess, or no, actually, yeah, we can just do print line must file read item path. And that'll give me the content of all the files. Incorrect function, I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. If directory, or if item type does not equal file type, then we'll just continue. There you go. It gives me all the bytes. Some files are empty. Did I read that? Yeah, some files are empty. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll do so var content, which is a slice of bytes, and is equal to go is equal to file read, or must, yeah, must file read item path, and then we're going to print f. This will be the path, and then this will be the contents. Right? How do I print a slice of bytes? Is it just V? Yeah, I think %V. And then a new line. So that'll be item path, and then content. Yeah, and then content. I think that'll work. Okay, what file is empty? Bond. Okay. That's in Yao's Wheel. Films I have already seen. Oh, okay, so at this point I hadn't seen any of the Bond films when I wrote this library. which I have since seen some of the Bond films. And then Lubimli, my favorite films. Films I want to see. Favorite films. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So I think I want to do the processing in C, right? So let's split this out into functions. Let's do func. Excuse me. Do I guess read directory, which will get. I think it'll just do, yeah, so a root, which is just going to be a file path. And I think it's just going to do this. It's just going to get all the contents of the file. Right? And that'll be a collections view of file entry pointers. I think that's fine for right now, correct? Yeah, and then I want to do get content. Oh, fuck. So get content. We're going to be doing file. Let's see. So get content. We're going to be doing, how do I want to write the signature of this? I think just like a path maybe? Or an item? Yeah, let's do an item of file. Or yeah. Okay. Yeah, file entry. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. And then I will return a slice of bytes. Yeah. Or no, you know what? I'm going to return a string. Yeah. I'm going to return a Go string. So that's going to be doing this here. Okay. Directory collect. Nope. Then return nothing, I guess. Or no. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine, but we're going to then return the string of content. Yeah. Okay, I think that's fine. And then we're going to be doing this essentially. Right? Or no, maybe a view of strings. Yeah, okay, I think a view of strings is fine. And I don't need the root. And then we're going to say our results, var results is a collection of strings. This will be the content of the files. Right? Or no, I want to do an entry, or no? Because what I want to do is I want to pass this to C, and again, during my pre-stream testing of this, C-Go doesn't do structs well. Which is unfortunate. I don't know. Maybe what I could do, just hypothetically, right? Maybe what I could do is instead of getting like strings and like the content, Or, right, okay, so, does, here, hold on, fmt print line item dot content, is content set? No, oh, wait, hold on, yeah, okay. Is content set at all, or missing return? Okay, return nil. Oh. Okay, fair enough. FMT print line item content. I didn't call the method yet. No. Okay, so content is not set, which is fine. Okay. So we can just read and then we have a collection of bytes. That's, yeah, that's okay. So do I want to get like a collection of strings or... Cause right, so for each file, this is the sort of structure I have it in. I have it in like categories, trivial categories. You can kind of ignore the categories. And then I have it by like people, by country, by just random categories, which you can kind of ignore, right? But then I have the title, new line, and then so they're separated by, I think, 2 new lines? Yeah. Is it 2 or what? It's 2, yeah. Okay. So I just I just kind of want to get the content of the file, right? And then do like text processing. Let's see, in C. So maybe I should just one-to-one copy that. Like, I think like that is fine for right now. Right? Yeah. But then I'm gonna say printf get content item get content item. Yeah. And then we'll do read directory root var. Oh yeah, we don't return anything right now. Yeah, okay, so this is gonna get me everything. Okay. That's fine. So maybe I don't want to return anything here. Yeah, maybe I just don't want to return. Maybe I just want to do the text processing and do that. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. And then so we'll do, I guess, in CMD. Should we do it in CMD? Yeah, let's just do it in CMD. No, yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it raw. Okay, so we'll say text. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do text. And that'll be text.h. And, alright, so we use C. Include, or no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna define string, is it string view? Because we're gonna be using string views here. Implementation, collection, string view. It is string view implementation, I believe. Yes, okay. So we'll do that. And we're gonna include, whoops. build. Kata lib c collections string view, not string builder, but string view. And then int main void and 0, your basic C setup, print f hello. No, that's spelled correctly. Do we not include? No. Okay, so I have to include standard IO as well. Okay. Interesting. What is this complaining about? Okay. So then what I'm gonna do is GCC text, or no, we'll put this in bin text exe text. Oh yeah. Okay, so this needs to be text C for right now. Text C. Okay, and then bin text. Okay, fine. So compiles. Awesome. So then I want to create a function that I guess gets a character and then returns a string view. Right? Like gets a line and then chops the string view, right? So yeah. Okay. So we're gonna say, all right, we're gonna just grab any old data. I guess just this'll work for right now. Whoopsie. Just this'll work. My mouse has been double clicking recently. I don't know what that is, personally. We'll just say data const char pointer data, and that's just gonna be an array, and we're just gonna have this shit. Yeah. Right? Or no. It's not going to be an array. It is genuinely just going to be data. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then we'll just do at the end of each line. You know what I can do is do something in the editor. So we're just gonna do this. I can do that there just to start it, and then there we go. The end, and we'll say that, and that way we got this, and I think that works. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to print our data just to make sure that we have everything. Yes, we do. Okay. Yeah, all right. So there are... Huh. All right, maybe I do need to, like, read the file, though. Yeah. Okay, yeah, then we'll read the file, because I just want to make sure that my string parsing is working. So we will get the relative path We'll say, right, okay, so then I also need to include, define path implementation, and include, this, but then we're gonna do, not collections, we're just gonna do path. And of course data does not exist. So we're just gonna do path t path, right? Or no, I need entry. Yeah, so I do need collections. All right, so I need entry. The difference between a path and an entry is used for like file processing, whereas like path is just dealing with paths. You know, entries read, write, copy, move. Paths are just paths. They're just strings. So we're gonna say entry t. Oh no, I also need a path t. Path, sure. And that is going to be equal to path from this. Whoops, no, I meant to copy this. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. I think that'll read, correct? Let's do pastor path. And I need to take a pointer here. Right, path just takes, okay. I think that is fine. Whoa. Redefinition. Do we use string views? Okay, that's interesting. All right. Oh, okay, so no, that's it's that, and then, whoops, no, I didn't mean to copy it already. We just want to do bin text. Of course, it gets, yeah, because it's Unicode. All right, maybe I want to like copy it into like test.txt. Yeah, and then we'll say test.txt. Because I just don't want to handle Unicode right now. I really don't. Whoops. There you go. Okay. And then entry is entry and is equal to entry init with a path. And then I also have to string builder delete entry, the address of entry content. We made everything stack allocated on stream at one point. And I just had to do that commit to the GitHub. Linker problem. Why is there a linker problem? Oh, because we're doing path implementation, so we need to do entry implementation. That is correct. Okay. And then, so then we'll do if not entry read. We'll read our file here. And I did over the weekend make all the GitHub commits, so my GitHub should be up to date with everything that we've done over the past couple of streams. So that's nice. And then we'll printf, we will panic. I didn't add the errors that we did though. Probably should have. I'm debating whether to add that to the GitHub now or later. So it will be on the GitHub eventually. Standard error, and this is a IO error. Cannot read path. Oh yeah, okay. And then and that'll be pastor. Path as string. Path. And that'll be return 1. Oh, and I also have to do this. Okay. To delete the content. Cannot find test.txt. Okay, fair enough. How about text? What? Oh, yeah, okay, because, yeah, that's why. So we do string builder data, entry, content. There we go, okay. String builder data null appends the data. It says that, and we got some comments going on. So that's cool. All right, so we have our data, and then we want to process that data essentially. So we want to do parse, yeah, void for right now. Parse file, sure, and we'll say content. Const string builder. Let's see. Content. And I think we're gonna do string t view is equal to sb to sv. Okay, so we do use and that'll be content. Okay, and then printf, just to make sure we have the content. String format, new line, string argument view. And then we'll say parse file entry content. All right, so we have the content. Awesome. So I guess we can do this, right? We can while view count is greater than 0. Let's do count chop. Is it chop? Delimiter, yeah. So chop by delimiter. Chop by delimiter. View, and then we'll do. Oh, I need a pointer to the view, and then view, and we'll say we'll do it by new line, and this will be string t line, and we want to print the line, and I guess I can add a bar. Yeah, let's just do a bar. Okay, so it chops the line. Awesome. And then I'm gonna say if line count is greater than or is I guess equal to 0. Less than 1. Nah, we'll say equal to 0. Continue. That way we're only getting the ones with content. There you go. All right, awesome. And then I think let's see, what am I gonna do? So we get the content, right? So we chop by the delimiter, we get the content, we get the view. I think, right, so we make sure that that's, so I think that's just it. That is the line, right? That is the title. But I want to sort of return like an array of string views. Or an array of strings, I guess, yeah. No, string views, yeah. Maybe I want to do, because C++ would be easier, but no, I don't want to do C++. Fuck that. I like a challenge. I like challenges. Take a little hydration break if you need. So I think, right, we have the content. We have the content here, right? Compile, run. We have each title split by line, right? So now I just need to add that to a result. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to create a type. Yeah, I'm going to create a type. Type def. Sorry, I thought it was in Go for a second. Just type. Type def. I do like type def better than type in Go. It's like, it's so much more, I guess, flexible in that, in a sense, you know? I think that makes sense. In my brain, it makes sense. I hope I'm making sense to chat. But what we're going to be doing, yeah, I guess like an array of like, so I guess I can call that file content. Yeah, so we'll do a struct, and we'll say that's file content type. Which is just going to be, I think each line should not be more than 256 characters, right? It's essentially ASCII, but I think what I wanted, and this is really only just to process everything so that we can then scrape an API. This is just to get all my data into separate files and like not ASCII, so I can process them in C, and then yeah. So what I want to be doing is getting a structure of, yeah, okay, define content capacity. Let's just do 156 for right now. I could even do 56 if need be, right? Because I don't think, no. Yeah, let's do 124. I think that's fine. Is 124 a power of C? Or a power of 2, sorry. Is 124 a power of 2? Power of 2. 124 and 248. Yeah, okay. No, it is not a power of 2. Okay. 64, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could do 64. Yeah, let's do 64. Let's save on memory. So we'll do data, which is the content capacity, and that's characters or no, yeah, it's a string. There you go. Or no, it'll be size T, yeah, or string T, yeah. There you go, it'll be a string type. I don't really need a pointer to the string type. I think that's fine there. But it'll be a string view in the sense of like const. You know what I mean? Like in C++, this would be an array of const standard string reference. You know, that's what I'm getting at here. So it's just a string view. And then we'll take a size. And we'll say file content pointer, right? Do I need to allocate it on the heap or the stack? Can I allocate this on the stack? Because it's a sized array. It's not a dynamic array at all. I think this can be stack allocated. I really do. Yeah. And if not, we will change it later on. New file, or file content init. Sure. And that'll take a size t, or a string t, sorry. And no, it'll just take, it won't take anything. Yeah. And we'll say we'll return file content t of the data is equal to just some zeroed out memory, and the size is 0. And then we'll do, that needs to be a comma. Void file content append, and we'll just say file content t. We'll pass a pointer. Or no, this will be a string t content. And then we also need the file content pointer. File content. Sure. Because we're appending. God, it's been a while since I programmed in C, honestly. We've been doing the Go streams, and then I took a little break from programming, and this used to be like easy, like the boilerplate for an array in C. Every programmer, just knows off the top of their head. But like I've just been away from my desk for a little bit, like a week, and it's not like as snappy as it used to be, that memory. You know what I mean? So then I'll do, yeah, so we'll do file, not field offset, file content at, or file content data at file content size plus plus is equal to content. I think that's fair. Yeah. Right. And if file content size is greater than or equal to capacity, what did I name it? Content capacity. Then fprintf, we're gonna error out. Standard error. And we're not really allocating anything, so I think I can exit. Well, no, yeah, we are allocating the entry. Yeah, I don't know. We'll think of something. I think I'm just going to error out for right now. So that'll be a value error. Cannot append content to a full array. I think that's fine. Yeah, and then exit 1. Or I guess I can just return. Nah, we'll exit. Oh yeah, because we don't do anything. But here we're gonna file content t, and I think it'll be result. Or no. Okay, so file content to pointer result. There we go. So that'll be a zeroed out memory, and then to pass it as a out pointer. That way we don't have to do heap allocations. And lifetimes stay the same. I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. Like I've said that before with some things, but like sometimes I do know that, like, you know, lifetimes, you know, I'm even learning Rust, and like lifetimes I'm just like right on it. You know, if you want to see a stream where I like sit down and like read the Rust book or whatever, and like like leave that in the comments or in the chat even. Like I would love to do that, just like a chill stream where we just fucking like learn together, do Rust, or even Zig. I either want to do Zig or Rust. I don't know. Yeah, I want to do something like that. But I don't know if that's gonna be like something people will watch. So. Right, then we'll do, instead of printing, we'll do file content append, and we'll say results, or no, that is results. And then, do I need a double pointer? I think I need a double pointer. No. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then we'll do the address of line. And then that'll be that. Okay. Right? Yeah, because I don't have more than 64 movie titles in a given file, I don't think. Right? Like, some of these are pretty fucking big, but yeah, like, I don't really have, and that's kind of why I split them out, is because of, so that I don't really have big files and I can look at them instantly. I do somewhat remember why and how I did this, but this was done like... Oh, I was doing this while I was in university. Yeah. I was doing this... I started this project, I think I remember I was doing it in university specifically because I wanted like a list of movies that I could watch when I was bored. You know? Like with downtime and everything. That's why I started this project. So that would have been 10 years ago? It would have been max 10 years ago. Min about... When did I graduate? Oh, okay, yeah. So that would have been min 5, max 10. I'll give that range as to when I started this... project. So it's a pretty old project. I do intend to update it, and this is kind of what we're doing right here is me updating it, I guess, or it's gonna help me updating it. So then I think I'm gonna bring this down. Let's tie everything together. So what we're gonna be doing is the file content T, which is right, yeah. File content, because we already have content. Do we already have content? We don't have content. Okay, give things, you know, relative name, or relevant names, not relative names. Just so that we know what things are. File content append, or no, init. Yeah, init. There we go. Okay, and then we can pass the address of file of content. And then what I can do is do for size TI, we can loop through the content and make sure our data all gets appended. All right, so that'll be 0, and I is less than content size plus I. And then this is where we're going to do the printing. So that's content data at I. Okay. So all the lines got appended. Great. And then just to make sure that we're appending exactly the content. Yep. Just no extra spaces. Okay. All right. And I do kind of want to trim spaces on like the left and right. I do want to sort of normalize the text because some of these aren't normalized. If you guys want to see some of my controversial opinions, this ties in. Let's see. Oh yeah, we did put Viciano the Organs on this. So like a lot of these have comments and brackets. Like 2.5 Men until season 9. I didn't really think at this point. I didn't think any of the Ashton Kutcher 2.5 Men was funny. So I'm just like exclude anything after season 9 entirely, or after season 8, which I think is fair. You know, but again, this was like 10 years ago, so my tastes have since updated. But yeah, okay, so we have the titles. Okay. So now what are we going to do with that title, with those titles? I don't think anything. Oh, excuse me. Should I make, I don't think like I need to make a cuz file content is a file content is a structure. So I don't think I need another structure because it's just a movie title. That's it. That's all we're getting, right? Parse file, and then I just need something to do all of this. You know what I mean? I just need a function to do all of this. And this is meant to be like a script. It's just so that we can get the titles to then scrape later. I don't really fully intend to make this like production script or anything. This is purely just metaprogramming at this point. Metaprogramming. It's not metaprogramming. It's, what is it? It's just this one-off script, I guess. Yeah, is the way I can put that. I guess now I can call this parse file, right? Or no. Well, okay, so do I have anything in string view to like chop? Trim. I think trim, right? Find first of starts with end equals. Let's see. What is trim? Trim a string of its following spaces. Oh yeah, trim of both its preceding and following spaces. Okay. All right, got it. So I can just call trim. Right. Okay. Which I think means that this check is redundant, right? So then if I do trim string t trimmed, sure, equals string trim, and that takes in the line. I think that means this is redundant then. And we're gonna print trimmed. I mean, I could still put in the checks, but oh yeah, okay. That's fine. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Come on, did it again. There we go. Content data. Okay, so no, this is not redundant. Okay. Alright, there we go. But yeah, so we'll trim the spaces because it's just text files that I kind of just wrote quickly. Like, it wasn't like any sort of like, it wasn't scraped from an AI. It was literally just me whenever I thought, like, I took a day of it and just down the list wrote some text. So, yeah. And, right, if you could read Russian, you probably know what we're scraping, but these are all Adam Sandler movies. As in, so then I have, by people, Adam Sandler, Arnold, Arnie, Ben Stiller, Jim Carrey, yeah, so it's alphabetical, I think, but it's, yeah, again, this was 10 years ago. My tastes have since updated with movies, but, you know, it is what it is. Right, so then I'll do... I just need a function that I can export into Go and then use that to get all the content. Right. So then, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? We want to do. Oh, we're getting some viewers now. Good. Cool. I've chat open on my phone. So then I guess we just want to do this, whatever's in the main function, right? And then return the file content, yeah. So I guess we just want to do parse files, plural? Sure. I think that's fine. Yeah, whatever. I think that's going to get... Is it going to get an out? Yeah, it's going to get an out. So we'll say path. Yeah, we'll say path. So that's a const pointer. Anytime that you have like a structure in C that uses an array, like a string, even if it is a sized array, you want to pass it by pointer because then it's trivially copyable in the sense of like you don't have to copy it. You know, you're just passing a pointer. You know, you're not passing this big giant array, hypothetically, you know, in theory. You don't have this big giant array to pass. You just have a pointer. You just have whatever the size of a word is on your system. So it kind of it speeds up your application a little bit, as well as it helps whoever's reading the code especially to understand, like, oh, okay, I have this pointer, but it's const. Like, it's just a read-only sort of view. But that's what I like to do with my array types, even if they're congregate types, aggregate types. Yeah. Anyway. So then you do, right, we get a path, and then file content t, which is an out. Or a result, I think. All right. Which then gets, which then just does this, I believe, right? Yeah. Okay. And instead of doing this, we have path, entry init. Oh, okay, I have to dereference path. And we'll say, here is result. Here we might need a double pointer. Right, content size results. Oh, no, yeah. So I don't need this. But then we can just delete the content because it's moved content. We're making a move here. Right, we're not, yeah. I think that's, yeah. Okay. And I don't need path. Okay. Yeah. But I don't. Yeah, wait, hold on. No, because I can't pass in. Oh shit! I can't pass in Unicode. Yeah, so this is. Oh fuck. All right, so this has been entirely a waste of time. This has been an entire waste of time. So, okay. Right, because I can't read the file. Right, like if I take Pastranam, no, let's see, television shows, okay, Ruski shows, let's see, shows I've already seen, okay, so, we're gonna copy this into test.txt, right? And then we're gonna call it parse file. Okay, let's see, what kind of errors am I looking at? Expected file content. Oh, okay, yeah. Right? The address of trimmed. Argument is type of double pointer. Content result. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't need to pass in result. Okay, and then return 1. Oh, okay, then just return, I guess, for right now. And but argument is type. Ah, yes, okay, because that is already a pointer. Fair enough. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna get this. So, yeah. Not necessarily the best way of doing that. Which is unfortunate. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. So, really, I just need to sort of, like... I don't know, maybe, like, copy the entries and, like, get shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so let's kill that file, or let's kill that for right now. And then what I want to do is go to... How can I do this? Like, right, so I have the file content, and I can get the file content in Go. I just need to do the text processing in C, because it's faster and it's easier, sort of. Or do we just want to abandon C in general and just use Go? Which I'm kind of leaning towards. Because just Unicode... Right, so handling Unicode isn't that bad of a thing. But it's just the fact that I would need to update the library that I'm using. And, like, I don't feel like doing that right now. That's out of the purviews of this stream right now. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna... Fuck it. I don't care about... I'm just gonna use Go, I think, yeah. Because whatever speed boost that I'm gonna be gained from... doing it in C is kind of mitigated. Like, I don't really care. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care. You know? Yeah. Okay, so I think just making, like, an array of content, like an array of, like, titles, array of strings, is going to be fine, given a file, right? So given a file, given an entry, we should get an array of content. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. So then, So I'm just going to abandon C at this point. I like C, but I just think that the fact that I originally made this Unica, I originally wrote this in Russian. Silly me from the past. I originally wrote this in Russian. I want to change this. But yeah, okay. I'm kicking myself for originally writing this in Russian, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we're just gonna say funk scrape, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna do scrape for right now, and we'll say maybe I can like kind of copy everything. Like I'll do that probably off stream or something. Like I'll scrape the file names, and then I'll just add them to whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Doesn't matter. So we'll do scrape. So given an entry, right? Given, or no, actually get content. What I can do is I can here. All right. So let's do Golang split string by delimiter. It's just split, isn't it? Right? Yeah, it's just split. Fuck. Or I guess split string by new line? Yeah, okay, so just split. Strings.fields automatically strip spaces in new lines. Okay, I can do that. And that returns yeah. Okay. So let's do var results is equal to a collection of strings. And that is going to equal collections new array of strings. And we'll say fields, which is a slice of strings, is equal to string fields, the string of content. Okay, and then var I int for I range fields. Fields, I guess a string, yeah. Fields at I. We'll, I guess results append field. And this is going to be a collection of strings. This is actually going to be a view. And return result. Okay. So that's fine. And then for each item, we are going to get, I guess maybe should I just do collections of collections at view, or like a mapping of the title? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a collections mapping of the title, which is a string, to the content, or to a collections view of strings. Yeah. Okay. Which are each title. So we map the title to the string, I think. Yeah. Or the title to the content. Yeah, okay. I like that idea. That idea is not bad. Let's see. So I think what I want to do is before anything, I want to say results, which is this hardy mess. Maybe I can make a type alias for it, but right now I'm just kind of making shit work. We can clean it up later. And it's not a mapping, but a map, which is the concrete implementation of it. Or no, actually, no, we can still make it a mapping, but that'll be collections, new map of this shit. Of a string to a collection of views. To a view of strings. There you go. Okay, so that's our result. And then for each of these, we're going to say, I guess, except, because it returns an exception, which is equal to results, insert, at the entry, right? What is it? Item or root? Root. At the root. Okay. No. Right, item. Yeah, item. Dot path, is it? Yeah, item path string. See that. Should I get like the base name? Like the file name? Nah. Yeah, we'll do the item name, that's fine. And then if except does not equal nil, return oh, actually, yeah, so then maybe I can make that an exception. There you go. We'll return nil and accept. There you go. Okay. Else we can return result and nil. That is really a workhorse function. God damn. Okay, so then var result, which is a collections mapping of a string to a view. And we're gonna panic if that fails. I guess, do we want to do key value? Yeah, so alright, so var key string value is a collections view of strings. For key value, we're going to loop over this in the range of results. Oh. Right? I need a pair. I need a bucket. Yeah, okay, I need a bucket. That's fun. That's fun times. I have to sneeze. Okay. I'm good. Normally two, but... okay, so result collect. Because I need a bucket. I need a pair, essentially. No, I don't. In range of keys. Ignore that. And we'll say range of keys. We're going to value is equal to results at key. And that's gonna panic because we already do. We're looping through the keys anyway, so it's not like we really need an error. Oh, this is a pointer to a collection of views. Okay, fair enough. And then we'll say print line value collect. Okay, let's see if that works. Yep. Okay. And then if there's nothing, right? If the size is nothing, then fuck it, right? So get content. Yeah, okay. Var content which is a collections view of strings, is equal to get content item. If content size, or if content is empty, continue. Else, we're going to append content. Okay. So we have each function. Okay, all right, that looks good. That looks amazing. Right. Right, so then I want to kind of scrape. So, here's the thing. I want to get rid of this update button first, so I just click that for a download. So, the Open Movie API, right? The Open Movie Database. So I did a little research before the stream, and I think this is kind of what we want, right? So, right, like if we scrape, say, the Big Lebowski, which is a genuine one that I have. Movie not found. How do you spell it? How the fuck do you spell it? It's in here somewhere. Whoops. Favorites, Big Lebowski. There you go. I think it needs to be case sensitive, which is fine. Whoops. Nope. Search. There you go. So if you look at all of these, right, you get a string. You get exactly what I need, right? So I'm just going to copy this response and say this is like a test response.json. They only let you do one free thing, and then you gotta get a key. But I already got a key, so I think we're gonna use that. So I want to do I guess structure schema.json. We're gonna format this. All right. So let's look at what we have. So you have a title, fair, year, great, rating, released. Is that like region? I don't know. I don't know if that's like region or not. And then you have the time in minutes. You have the genres. Fine. Director, writer, actors. I don't necessarily care about actors right now. English, German, Hebrew, and Spanish. Great, cool. Awards, all right. Poster, ratings. Yeah, I don't care. Type movie. Okay. Now, right. So, here's the thing. I have to pee. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this up for right now. I'm going to take a little think, take a little pee, and then think about how we can essentially scrape this data and like what sort of structure we need. So I will be right back in minute and a half. Okay, cool. Sit right there. Okay, how we doing in chat so far? Liking the stream? Yeah. All right. So, thought about it, right? Thought about it. We have each title, right? And we can just scrape by title. So I think that's just going to be the best way to do it, and then just kind of get all of... Because, right, so I thought about it, and the data we want is title, year of release, rating, release... Do we want release date? No, we just want year, right? And then the runtime. I want to kind of format the runtime. I'm not sure. Here, actually, you know what? Let's write. I guess data or schema. Schema, sure. .md. So what we want the title. Director. Sure. I think we're only gonna take one director. Like, okay, so you have the Coen brothers, but I mean, like, I don't know. I think I just want one. Like, yeah. I'll figure it out. Or maybe no. Maybe I could take two, because it is a string. I think I'm gonna store the director as a string, because that's not gonna be an enum. That can't be an enum. How can it, right? So, yeah. Okay, so we get year of release. Then we have rating, definitely. Country of origin. I guess plot too. Yeah, plot. Like, that'll be like a description. Yeah. So we'll say plot. But it'll be like a description. Language, right? Okay. Original language. And let's see. What else do we want? Awards. I don't care about awards. Poster. Rating. I really don't care. In my planning, I was gonna kind of do, did we say genre yet? No, we didn't. But that'll be genre. Okay. In my planning, I kind of wanted to do like a category, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't care. I don't care about a category. Right? Is that fine for a movie? Title, director, genre, year of release, rating, country of origin, plot, and original language. Do I need to get anything else? Maybe cast at one point? But I don't really care about cast, I'll be honest with you. Oh, and I also love how the response is not JSON formatted. Like, this should be all lowercase. Metascore should be camel. Like, down here, it's like, yeah, okay. So this was, so, like, how you can tell, this was clearly scraped from an API. The IMDb, you know, that was clearly scraped from an API, and then they just didn't format the output at all. So, yeah. Maybe we could do the poster? I don't know. What's this link bring me to? Okay, yeah. That's a decent poster. All right. This poster link. We'll worry about posters later. I don't really care about that. Yeah. Okay. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna build a model. I'm gonna build a model for this. So we'll say models plural. We'll do movie.go. And this is a type movie structure, which has all of this. And we'll kill these. Awesome, cool. And then this can be uppercase, camel case, Pascal case. There you go. And this is Pascal case. And this is Pascal case. Awesome, cool. Whoops. Okay, and all of these are strings for right now. And we'll do here. Okay, so let's go here, copy JSON. All right, so title How is this, director? Okay, yeah. Sure. Genre, year. This is structured as year. Country of origin. This is country. We'll do some data processing later. Plot and language. I think we're not gonna care about data focusing right now. Data processing, sorry. But we are going to, I just had to unplug my phone from the charger. We are going to be doing something with these structures. Okay, so yeah, okay, so we're just gonna add a string method right now to the movie. We'll do everything later. VIE string, that returns a string, return sprintf, and this is just going to return the title, and then in brackets the rating. Yeah, I'll give it a space there, and then genre? Yeah, genre. Okay. And we'll say movie title, movie rating, and movie genre. Okay. I think that's fine for representing a movie. That's fine. And then we want to make a go request. I believe that's done by doing go. Am I correct? Yeah, we'll make a go request. We can do this in go routines as well. We're gonna worry about go routines later. So, how about we'll just say get data. Yeah, and that'll be a function. Get data, and that's gonna return a go serialize object. That's just a by title. That's just a like a JSON object. It was string of any, a map to string of any. Okay, so we're gonna get the title, and we're gonna say, oh, actually, you know what? Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to full screen so I don't leak anything, because I don't yet know how to I don't yet know how to reset the code. But we're gonna say API key in a .m file. I'm fully aware I'm in full screen right now. That's intentional. And then I'm gonna go to my email, because they send it by email. Sure. Is that password gonna work? No. I don't care about these. Okay. In my email, getting my API key. There we go. And there we go. And then I want to get the .m file, right? So we want to say this is a request. This is the structure of a request. All right, so we're not in the email anymore. Okay, so this will be a structure. Yeah, so we'll make that a constant. Const structure string, and that equals, whoops. Ah, shit, I gotta go back to my email. Bear with me, give me 1 second. I will be back on the code in just 1 minute. I just have to make sure that I'm not gonna leak this API key. We're gonna say key. There you go. Okay, and then that's by ID. Okay. I'm not leaking anything, correct? Okay, we're gonna go back to the desktop. Cool, all right. So we have a structure of a request, right? Yeah, okay. We have a structure of a request, and then we need to sort of go into, yeah. All right, so we'll get the title and I guess the base URL, I think. Yeah, I think the base URL and the title is fine. Oh, and then I also need the API key, of course. API key. Okay. So then we'll say this is the base URL. URL, which is a string, and is equal to that. Cool. Right, and then we want to do how do I HTTP get, correct? I think. Yeah. All right. Which gets a URL, which I think is so fmt print line. Okay, so open movie database. Let's see. API key, your key, and the parameters, the type. So we'll do T. So it'll be and T. Right? So it's API key. So we'll do S printf. So we'll do here, and then what does this return? This returns a response or an error. Okay, so var response, which is http.response, and is and then we have var get error, which is an error. We'll say response and get error. That if get error does not equal nil, I guess panic with a get error for right now. We could do formal error handling later. Okay, so this is a pointer. Okay, cool. We're not using response yet, but we want to do the base URL. The base URL. And is that with or without a slash? That is with a slash. And we want to do a question mark and get the API key. So API key, correct? It is API key lowercase is equal to the API key. And then we'll do and T, I think, right? Yeah, T. And then equals, and then we have to URL encode. Right? What if I just use quotes? Does that work? That works. Okay, so if we just do it in quotation marks. Okay, all right. But T is equal to, or is there a way to URL encode in Golang URL encode? Like, is that something we can do? URL query escape. Oh, that's a thing. Okay. Well, then we'll just do %s. And then, okay, so we need the base URL, the API key, and then URL dot in escape, query escape, the title. Yeah, okay. And then for right now, we're gonna just return nil, but we're also going to print the response body. Oh, and then I also have to close the response body. Yeah. So we'll say defer, close, a response body, not read, but close. There you go, okay. Oh, does that have to be done after error handling? Okay, fair enough. Oh, and then we just never call it. Okay, so let's get our API key. Let's get our API key. So we want to do var, I guess, environment, right? I don't know what it is yet, so we do go.env or .env.env, right? What's the repository? Go.env. It's this. It is go.env. Okay, go.env. Is it load? It is load. Okay. And we're going to go mod tidy. Awesome. Cool. What does this return? Okay, this returns an error. So environment error. Just an error. And we'll say if environment error does not equal nil, we'll just panic for right now for the environment error. And then we want to do I think just for right now, we're just gonna scrape one title just to make sure everything works. But then what I can do is call get data, which is the base URL, right? Or I'm gonna say, yeah, instead of like base, because that might conflict with the constant, we'll say just base for right now. Okay, so base URL, and then my API key was os get env API key. I think that's the one I did, right? Okay, so let's go to full screen. I'm on full screen, correct? Yes, I'm on full screen. Okay, I just want to make sure that my API key, that's the one I used. Yes, API key. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to the desktop. And then the title is just The Big Lebowski. And how is it spelled? I never can actually spell this. There we go. Okay. That is one of my favorite movies, by the way. Just saying. I love this movie. And then what does this return? Nothing right now, right? Because that's just nil. So we're gonna build it. We get nil. Okay. Response body read? No. Okay. Golang get API request. Making HTTP requests in Go. Yeah, we make the URL. Right? And then, oh, it's like IO read all. Yeah. Yeah, it's like IO read all. Okay, so that's fun. That's always good. So what does IO read all get me? Or bytes buffer? Or no. We just JSON Marshall, right? Yeah. JSON Marshall the type. But I think I could just JSON Marshall. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do Oh, you know what? Actually, I can just... All right, so IO read all. Right, that's not deprecated or anything, is it? No, yeah. Okay, so response body. And that'll return me... I'm just going to print line because it'll print the error, but I'll still get the bytes. Is that going to get me something? Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess we'll just say B for right now, and we'll ignore the error, and that'll be IO read all response body, and we'll say we'll print line the string of B. Yep. Okay. Cool. And then I'm going to create a results, which is a go serialize object, and is equal to make go serialize object and 0. Good, cool. And we are going to do JSON.Marshall. Yeah, does that return an error? It does return an error. Okay. So we'll say I don't care about the bytes, but I care about the error. No, I don't. Okay, we're just gonna do Marshall. Bytes, correct? What does this take in? Oh. No, we want to unmarshal, right? Yeah, unmarshal. My bad. We want to unmarshal the bytes, and we want to get the results, address of results, and then return results, I believe. Okay. And then we'll say var object print the object. Okay. Awesome. So we have an object, and then I want to get it at the title, just hypothetically. Or is that going to crash? Nil. Oh. Because we need to do title. Which annoys the shit out of me. Yes, okay. But then instead of returning an object, we're going to do a... I guess movie? Right? Models. Movie. And instead of this result, it's going to be a models movie. And result, and we return the result, which is a models movie. One thing I do like about Go's like sort of JSON library is like if you have like more than the move, like if you structure your structure without, like if you leave some keys out that are not in the response, it just ignores them, right? So we're just gonna say object title, and I think that just works. Yep. Okay. Year of release. Yep. All right. Cool. And I can also print the object because we defined a string for it. Oh, no genre. Ooh. That is a problem. Why is there no genre? Did I get that wrong? No, it should be right. Oh, movie rating. Is there no rating? There should be a rating. Oh, rated. That's why. Okay, rated. Oh, English! Awesome. Cool. Great. You forget sometimes that, like, Big Lebowski is a crime thriller. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, so then we're going to get a, I guess, results, right? So var result is equal to, so this will be a collections, collection? Yeah, collections of models movies. And that is going to equal a new array. Okay, and then we're going to comment this out for now, but for each film, we have 2 results. Yikes. We'll call this movies. Sure. Instead of doing that, we're going to get the data of, and then movies dot append movie, or object, yeah, sorry. Get the result at value. Oh, okay. Oh, and then I have to loop through each. Okay, yeah. Fuck. So func gets movie data. I'll rename these later. Get movie data. We're gonna do data, right? Or no, title. Yeah, title. Yeah. Or we're gonna do, no. We want to do titles, right? Yeah, which is a collections view of strings. So that'll do this essentially for each title. And we're going to say for var title var I int for I range is titles collect. Title is a string and is equal to titles collect at I. I really should do like at for view, you know? Like, I think the organization works within the library, but I just mean, like, I don't know, maybe view should be different. Maybe view should be, yeah, anyway. So we're going to say title. What am I doing? Title, and then we, okay, so then we want to do this for each title. And this is going to return models movie. There you go. And, right? Or I guess a collection of movies? Yeah. Let's do collection of movies. And this is not going to be a collection, but a view. Yeah. So then we'll do var results is this here. And so we'll say movies append objects return movies. And instead of actually hard coding it, we'll just say title. And then what I can do is not movies append, but then we're gonna do results, right? So for each title, we're going to get the data. Yeah. Okay. All right, I see. And then what we're going to be doing is getting the keys. Is that correct? Because that's the file content, and then we want to get each movie for it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. So we want to do collections view. Or do we want to pass in a result? Yeah, okay, so we're going to do movies, and we're going to say collections, not iterable, but a collection of movies. Models movie, there you go. And then we'll say, we'll bring that back into the main function, and we're not going to return anything. We're going to append. And we'll say not get content, get movie data. Yeah. We'll get the movie data of the value, I believe. Value, and then movies. And then for, how the hell with this? For movie in movies, collect, not add, collect. We are going to print movie. Boolean or, oh, range. There you go. And let's see. It's running. We are doing a lot of movies. We are making a lot of requests, so I think we just gotta kind of wait, which is fine. So how's your day going, chat? We all good? Enjoying the stream so far? There is a bit of delay on my stream manager. Oh shit. Okay. Alright. We do need to speed this up a little bit. Which Go routines could probably help. Ah, there we go. Okay. Wow. Alright, so that worked. Goddamn. Okay. And I'll do like string processing, but I'm noticing like a lot of the ones that I gotta kind of like get at, yeah. Wow. Okay, so we have all of this. Awesome. So we have movies essentially, right? And we can. So what we could do is we could dump it to JSON, right? So then instead of instead of doing that, what we can do is do, I guess, file, all right, so var accept is a go polytils exception, and that is equal to file dot write list. Yeah, okay, so path, we'll just say path from dot slash data JSON. And that's gonna take in the movies. Okay. If accept does not equal nil, panic. Accept. And this is kind of what I wanted to do today, right? Is so that I didn't have to go in and manually do everything, every movie that I have, manually do that. I chose to do web scraping. And I could have done this 10 years ago. I was kind of programming a little bit. I was just starting out in programming 10 years ago, but nothing to this effect, not as like fast as this. Fast, of course. We're going to make it faster though. Yeah. And maybe off stream I'll look into handling Unicode and we can do this in C. So then I can just make this project in C, end of sentence. You know what I mean? Which would be pretty cool. Awesome. Okay, and let's see. Do we have a JSON file? We have a JSON file. And let's Shift-Alt-F. All right, look at this. We have a data file. Hero. Wow, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Maybe I didn't want... Huh. Game of Thrones? What? That's not in Game of Thrones. That's in TV. Yeah, why is that in... I do have Game of Thrones in the data, by the way. Why is that scraping the titles? I don't know. But yeah, no, we have movies now. So that's a success. So I think I am going to do, I think off stream, what we're going to be doing is essentially we're going to be, I guess, working with the string processing, just kind of trying to figure that out. And then maybe I'll do that all in C. I do want to eventually maybe like make a web server in C and kind of do this structuring in C, but I don't know how that's going to work. That is the best case scenario, but that is also the most difficult path. So, with that being said, I do kind of want to end the stream here. So thank you guys so much for watching. All right. See you next time. Peace. Stay safe. All right. So today we're going to be doing something very similar to what we were doing yesterday. We're essentially going to take everything and kind of just clean it up. We're also going to do, we're going to improve the error handling, I guess, and anything else I can really think of during the stream. You know how these streams go. They're off the cuff. They're not really, you know, planned out per se. Some of them are planned out. Some of them I do legitimately like have a to-do list. You've seen that. I do genuinely have a to-do list sometimes. Today, I don't. We're just going it by ear. That's what we've been doing for pretty much the entirety of this project. Okay. I'm just going to try and bring up chat real quick. Oh, actually, you know what? While I'm doing that, that is a good segue to start the chatbot. Something I should have done during the stream and then just completely forgot to do that. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now, just while I get everything set up. Maybe like wait for some people to join. All right, all good. Chatbot's up, so I can switch to the desktop. Okay, so what I want to essentially be doing today is yesterday, while I was testing this, I got a request limit. I got a request limit, right? So I thought, what better way to start off the stream than to sort of do error handling correctly? Like if I get a response limit or request limit, then handle that error correctly, or handle that error in a way that makes sense and we can fail quickly, right? Fail early pattern. As well as I want to fix some of the data validation, maybe sort of like get all the functions out of into different into different like files or something like that. So let's see. So what I want to do is, where do we handle the data here? Right? So what I'm thinking of doing, right, is instead of marshalling everything into a structure here when we get the data, I think what we should just do is marshal it into an object. Go serialize object, and that'll be serialize object. And then nothing else really changes, and then go serialize object. And then I think get movie data can fail, right? Yeah, I think get movie data can fail. So let's create an exception here, and then we're going to say that we're not going to append just yet. If maps dot equal, I guess, right? Because you got to think that, like, if there's a slices package, there's got to be a maps equal. Yeah, okay. So then we'll do object and I guess request fail. What did I name the variable up here? Request limit. Okay. Request limit. Then return a... Okay, so return an exception. And I think this will be an IO error. We'll just say it's an IO error for right now. And we'll say request limit reached. If I could spell, that'd be amazing. And then if not, then we'll say then we'll can I JSON marshal a, let's see, JSON unmarshal a structure, right? So we'll say var movie, which is our models, movies, and we'll say that is our data, our object, and we'll say movie. I think that'll work, right? Oh, I need the bytes. Fuck. Yeah. Alright, shit. So that might not be the best way of doing this. Yeah, okay, so maybe then just instead of having an object, that's interesting. How do I want to do this? Because I don't want to unmarshal twice. That's the thing. Because object to bytes. Do I have go serialize? Right, go serialize. What kind of like bytes to object? Okay, so what do I have? Object to bytes. I do have object to bytes. Okay, that's fair. So I think what I'm gonna do is do object to bytes. Object to bytes. Object to bytes, which is going to be the object, right? It's the object, and then the writer is go serialize JSON writer, right? Oh, and then I need, because this returns an error, I'm gonna panic for now. And then here return nil. So then if I run it, right? Oh, no. Here we're gonna do movies append, right? Yeah. We're gonna do movies append movie, and then return nil. There we go. Okay. So that way everything is as it's supposed to be. Okay, and then so I'm getting no compilation errors, and let's run it again. And it's gonna take some time. It's gotta do some web scraping. Oh, that's something we could do today. We could do we could implement like Go routines and everything in concurrency. I just thought about that. So how's everybody's day going in chat? Just while we're waiting for this web scraping to go. We doing good? This is gonna take a while, so I kind of want to just pass the time. Yeah. When we implement concurrency, it's gonna take less time. It will take, you know, because we're still reaching out to the internet. We're actually using the API. We're reaching out to the internet, and we're getting data. So it's gonna take some time. But we're gonna implement concurrency hopefully during this stream. Maybe not if next stream. And that will be that. And it'll be a little bit faster. You know, maybe we can also add context, but it's done. So let's see if we have everything we need. Oh. Okay, so some of them aren't really scraped correctly, but yeah, we have data. Okay, that's fine. So I think instead of like URL query escape, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna pass the title in like quotes. So I think that's where everything is screwing up, which is fine. So we're gonna escape that, and we're just gonna pass it in quotes. And let's scrape some data. Again, let's fucking wait. Because why not, right? Oh, you know what I can do while I'm waiting? I can change the today command. Let's go to our chatbot in the settings. Sure, I'll open right now. That's not the project, but sure. Let's see, what are we doing? We are, I guess, implementing concurrency in the movie API. That's fine, yeah. And then if you want to figure out what we're doing today, just hit exclamation mark today in the chat, and it'll show you what we're doing today. So also something I found out about the about this API is you can do TV shows, which is going to help us down the line definitely, because TV shows, I have the same, as you can clearly see, show per televisoro. I have television shows that I need to scrape as well. Right now we're just doing films, but we have okay. So Shawshank Redemption. Okay. Oh. Okay, so this is worse, more or less. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so maybe I will go back to URL escaping. Alright, fair enough. Maybe I will go back to URL escaping, because that was arguably worse. That was genuinely arguably worse. Oh, Christ. Yeah, but like we have original language, right? But then if we go to right, so I was testing TV shows. If we say GoldenEye, why not, right? It's language, it's not original. So this is language. I have a lot of Shawshank Redemption. Why do I have Shawshank Redemption? Cause get movie data. Oh, because I never handle the error. Okay, so I might be on a limit, which isn't very good. But we're gonna do... Alright, so get movie data. Okay, so var. Do I already have accept? I do not. Var accept. If accept does not equal nil, panic. Ah, request limit reach. Fuck. Fuck, and we're only 15 minutes into the stream. Damn. Okay. And I don't feel like paying for any sort of like premium or whatever, right? Like usage, right? Okay, so we have usage. I don't care about, I guess API, this is not endorsed. Here, okay, so let me go to full screen, because I don't know if this is going to leak anything. So, oh, I would have to become, okay. So I would have to become a Patreon member, to get more requests. Which is valid, yeah, which is definitely valid. But all is not lost. All is not lost, because what I can do is also as well. Oh yeah, okay. So that's right. So I looked at like fields right last night after the stream, and turns out fields is not what I need, because fields gets you just a singular token, right? It gets you like what would be a token? It would be like the string without spaces and without new lines. I thought it was just new lines. I thought it just cut on new lines. I'm stupid. I'm fucking retarded. I'm stupid. That's a little extreme self-denigration, but I mean, it's true. So turns out I don't need fields. As well as how this is stored, apparently, I guess on Windows, is it's a carriage return, right? So if I go into like Adam Sandler, just for why not, right? It's a carriage return and then a new line. So then what I would have to do is split the carriage return, so strings split on a turn new line, and then iterate over the new line fields, which then I get strings, not fields, lines. Yeah, that's what I need. Right, because it's fields, and then lines of, oh, I guess, okay, so fields, because this is a iterator. We'll say fields. How did I do this? Because I would have to split on the new line, but like, what does fields give me though? Right, so let's not do any web scraping for right now. Let's just return before. And, right, so I kind of did a little research and figured out what I needed to do. Right, so it would be, because, right, like if I say, so field is a string, I guess. And then we get fields lines, so then I can delete that. And the lines of, is it content? Yeah, it's the string of content. And then I need fields to get the carriage return, right? And then I want to, before I append, I just want to print line field for right now. Yeah. We gotta stop calling them fields, but that's what I'm gonna do. This was so much easier in C. Right? Yeah, okay. So then I want to split the carriage return, right? So then what I can do, I believe, is if the length of field is equal to 0. So if there's nothing there, we're just going to continue. And what does that give me in return? Instead of print line, we're just going to print printf. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll add a new line afterwards, just so that we know what's being printed. Okay. And then I still have to split the carriage return. Okay. Or do I cut the suffix, right? Cut suffix of a carriage return. And that returns, I guess, before, which is a string, and then found, which is a Boolean. Yeah. And then before and found. Okay. If not found, or no. It's trim suffix, because I don't care if it's found or not. Yeah. Because if it's not found, then it's just going to be return unchanged. Right? Yeah. And then we'll do before. And that returns me not what I wanted. Which is fair enough. Okay. Okay, maybe I do care if it's found or not. Oh, I don't want to do the string of content. I want to do the string of field. That's what I want to do. Yeah, I don't want to do the string of content. I want to do the string of field, which is then we do before. Okay, that's fine. So we're doing a little text processing today. That's all. Right. Oh, okay. And then I'll check if the length after. And I think that just works. Sort of. Oh, length of before. Duh. There we go. Okay, so then we're getting all the titles. There we go. And I did go in before the stream and kind of get all the ones that didn't necessarily have like in when I say like trilogies, like I have a couple of in here that used to say like trilogy or entire series. Seems I missed one. Seems I missed the Taken trilogy, which is fine. Okay. So we're just gonna do Taken. Taken. Okay, so the trilogy. So we're just gonna kind of get like all the Taken films. This is all I did before the stream. The complete collection. All right, so it's just Taken 1, Taken 2, and Taken 3. Okay, fair enough. Taken 2 and Taken 3. Awesome, cool. Those movies are cool, right? Like I do love a good Taken movie, whenever that's on like television or something. And then we're gonna append the result before. There you go. Yeah, no, that looks like decent data. That's good. Okay. That's good. Yep, okay. I don't see anything blatantly out of place, so that's fine. Right, okay. I gotta go back to full screen, try not to leak nothing. I just want to check and see if I'm still in like a request limit. Getting base URL. And then structure API key is my API key. All right, let's see here. And then yeah, request limit reached. Okay. All right, cool. So I guess I could do like I can make these separate functions now. Like I can make these separate folders. So we're gonna do, I guess. Well, yeah. So we'll do text, or no? I guess processing. Right, or yeah, load. I think load, and that'll be main. Load, so this will do with like reading files and everything, and getting like the titles. So read directory definitely needs to go. Okay, and then get content. I'll get that in a minute. Yeah, so we have a root and a mapping and a result. I guess maybe I can do that. I can make a type for that. We'll do file. Oh, Fukel. Yeah, I can spell. Fucking Fukel, man. Fucking Fukel. What the figgy figgy? I'm like Porky fucking Pig. Spilled water on my keyboard. Great. I'm fully aware I'm not funny when I'm not drinking. You know? Like, I think I'm funnier when I'm drunk. Like, most people think that, but I just mean, like, I have empirical evidence for it. Like, you know, I go out with my friends, and I'm hysterical. I'm the life of the party. But then, like, now, I'm not drinking. I haven't been drinking for, like, a week now, almost. And I got water with lemon, which I don't normally have lemon, but, you know, I kind of just wanted some water with lemon today. None of my jokes are landing. They don't even make me funny. They don't even make me laugh. That's the thing. They don't even make me laugh. I'm not even trying to make any viewer laugh. I'm trying to make myself laugh. You know, and try and make this at least a little entertaining. But, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, none of my jokes are for, like, anyone else, necessarily. Like, if you guys find them funny, great, cool, that's awesome. But, like, when I tell a joke, it is to make myself laugh. Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, bottom line, I am painfully aware that I am not funny. So I guess file? Yeah, okay. And then we'll do, we'll make this as file. And then return a file. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess, okay, and then what I can do is say type content just to, like, self document, which is a collections dot view of strings, and this will be content string to content. Okay. We kind of simplified that, and then what I want to do is get a func process file, which is, what is that going to do? That is going to return, that's going to take in an item. Do I already have a function like this? Because I think I do. Yeah, well, sort of, not really. Item, which is going to take in a file entry, or process entry, I guess. Process, maybe? Yeah. That'll be fine. And that is definitely going to return an exception. Is it going to return anything else? Content. And then it just inserts the content into the result. Okay, then maybe I should take in a result by pointer. Right? So result, which is a collections mapping. We'll use an interface so I don't have to pass a pointer. I mean, I still have to pass a pointer, but yeah. Of string to content. Like, under the hood, Golang interfaces are genuinely just pointers. Much like anywhere else that uses interfaces. Like, a lot, right, so a lot of what programming is just getting, and I've kind of talked about this before, but a lot of what programming is, in my opinion, is just kind of, like, understanding the core concepts, understanding, like, you know, how a variable is created, you know, what is memory, you know, at, like, sort of, like, the base, level, yeah, at the base level. and then just kind of building on that and learning the syntax of the specific language, syntax and strengths of the specific language you're learning or have learned, and then just everything else can transfer over, you know. So like, right, I started my coding journey a decade ago, something like that. Right, this is the original project of this. Original project, literally just creating a list of movies, a text list. The original project was one of the first things that made me want to start programming. And this was like a decade ago. So then we have like a decade ago, and I started learning Python. I started learning. So I went from Python to I believe C. Did I go from Python to C? Yeah. No. I went from Python to Java to C++ to C to assembly to Go. Go is one of the last things I tried, and now I'm gonna try and learn Zig and Rust. I'm gonna try. I'm getting there. I'm gonna see if that's gonna make good content. If not, then whatever. But yeah, like, so, you know, what I did is I learned sort of the core concepts of like programming, like logic, like variables, pointers. I know Python doesn't have pointers, but you get what I'm trying to say. And then like core concepts of things I was trying to learn, like networking, threading, processing, that sort of stuff. String manipulation is a good way of learning a language, right? If you ever want to like actually learn a language, string manipulation is probably the best way to go, and like getting input. Just because like you learn about like how each language handles its data, the data model of each language in a core fundamental way, and that can carry you through learning the rest of the language. That's just my opinion. That is my experience. But yeah. So yeah, with this fucking rate limit, I gotta try and like stall for time. Like I don't know how long it is, because I was testing this out at like eight last night, right? Like I've become so fucking American. I'm saying 8 last night. 20 o'clock. 20 o'clock. Like my time on my monitor is 24 hours. But like, I don't know, just like living here for ages. I've lived here half my life now. And I don't know, I'm just becoming very American. I don't like it. I really do not like it. Where were we? So then we'll say, okay, so this can essentially be copied and pasted. Not the item, but this. There you go. So we're gonna do process item. So let's return. Or no, actually return nil. I think, right? Yeah, return nil. Because we don't want to process files. Or we don't want to process anything that isn't a directory. Right? Or maybe, no. Maybe that can be our base case here. Yeah. Okay. And then if it's empty, we're just going to return nil, because we're not going to process anything. And then, yeah. That works. And then if accept does not equal nil, we'll return... Actually, I could just return this. I could just inline that. There you go. Make it a little bit more readable. And then instead of this huge fucking blob, we can just do... accept, which is an exception, is equal to process. And the item is the item. And the result is... Where is our result? It's just result, I guess. Yeah, result. Oh, that is a file. Okay, it's a file. There we go. Okay. Yep. And then if accept does not equal nil, return accept. Oh, nil and accept. Nil and accept. There you go. Okay. That's fine. And then this function has gotten a lot shorter. Oh, even more to my point is single responsibility. I could pass in directory, which is a directory. Whoops. Directory. And a result. And then I don't need this anymore. So then this is single responsibility. I like it. Okay, and then get data that's gonna go somewhere else. And then read directory. Here we go. Okay, so then we're gonna do domain-driven development. Load directory, and that's gonna be public, and that is going to get us a file. And that is gonna be load directory. What did I need? Oh, yeah, okay. So I needed the result and then the directory itself of loaded content. And then load. And that's going to take in our directory, right? Oh no, that's already a pointer. And our oh, I can't name this result. What is this? So directory returns a file, and this is a file. Why does directory return a file? We're returning result, right? Yeah, no. We're just gonna do that. Yeah. Okay, this is an exception. This isn't Alright, try my best to right my wrongs. If accept does not equal nil, panic accept. And so we take in the directory and the results. Oh, because that's already a file. Alright, and then load directory, and then we no longer need the must. So we're cleaning up that. Awesome. Redeclared in this block. Yes, I know. Okay, I can comment this out for right now because that is all the web scraping. And for right now, we can also comment that out. Alright, so now we just have, we load the environment, we get our directories, right? And then I guess what I can do is I can also get rid of that return for, okay, so for I, say integer. Well, no, actually what I can do is call this a size, make this a little bit more programmatic. For I in range of result. Collect. So root. Right, what am I doing? Looping over the directory, correct? I'm looping over the results. Okay, so results at. Do I need at? Collect keys. Okay, fair enough. I guess for key value pairs, right? Yeah, I guess so this will be keys. Var key, which is a string, of course. And we'll say for key in range of result, because if you remember, result is a mapping. So then keys, say value. Oh, it's here. Okay. I'm more or less just copy and pasting this. Right, so we're gonna do value. Okay, so collections, view strings, and that is going to equal load, right, or no, results, right, must at key. Oh, that's load content, fair enough. Load content. And then what I'll do is say key, or no, I guess we could just print the value, right? Print each string in a value. Yeah. And then, right, get content, I think, is going in the file as well. Whoops. Get content, right, which is then going to return content, load content. There you go. And then what I want to do is do const crlf, which is a string and is equal to this new line. And so now we have our crlf. And that'll trim the suffix. I don't think I can really make this any better. Except maybe, right, because we're just using the path, so I think that'll be path, right? So that'll be path. And then instead of getting the path here, we just pass in the item. Or the path, I should say. There you go. And then item path. There you go. And then we don't need accept, and we don't need to return the results. So here, that cleans that up a little bit more. And then here I can even just return accept instead of panicking. So we have more control over where our errors are. So that's fine. Before, and then you get before. Yeah, and then I'm going to make a function just to make this a little bit more cleaner. Normalize content, I think. Yeah, normalize content, which is going to get some content, I guess, which is going to be a string, and this is going to return a string. And we're just going to do, oh, and then also a token. Content and token, which are a string. Okay. So then it's essentially just going to do this. If the length of before is equal to 0, right? So if the length of before is equal to 0, do I want to return something? No. Right, so we're going to cut the carriage return, and we're going to carriage return line feed. We're going to cut that, and then we're going to do maybe a string. I don't know. What do we want to return here? Because I want to ignore anything that is like an empty string. Right? I want to ignore anything that's an empty string. Maybe I can do like a Boolean. That makes sense? Yeah, maybe a Boolean. Like whether it succeeded or not. I don't like sentinel values, but I think that's what I just have to do. Right, so we're going to say content. And we're going to return an empty string, and we'll say true, because this is a good path. Else we'll return, right? Length of before is nothing. Because I don't want to like return an empty. I don't want an empty string. That's the thing. I don't want an empty string. Shit. I guess what I could do would be before. No. Strings. What do we have? Compare contains count. Cut equal fold. Fields has prefix. Map, new reader, read, repeat, replace all, split. I guess cut suffix. Maybe that's what I need. But I don't, right, like I don't want to return an empty string. That's sort of the point. Is if the string is empty, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, all right, so maybe this doesn't make sense. Maybe this just doesn't make sense as a separate function. So, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Right, because I don't want to append an empty string. Okay. Or what I can do is just do this, is like append string. Yeah. So instead of doing, so we'll do func append normalized. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's fine. Which will take in the content and a token, which is just our carriage return line feed. This, and that is also going to take in a result. So the result is going to be a collections of string, and that's going to be content. Oh, no, we have content. Results. Yeah, and then so that'll like handle the singular one. No, I did not mean to place a debug marker. So then what that'll do is do that. And we have content token. We'll split the token from the content, and then we'll say just return, else append before. There you go. Okay, and then we'll do where am I? We want to do append normalized. The content is the field, I believe, as well as the CRLF, character return line feed, and our result is the result. Okay, I think that still works. I'm pretty sure that still works, right? And then what I can do is, so we get the value, and then I just want to, I guess, print values, just for right now. Yeah, all right, so func print values, just so that I can debug this without actually making API requests. Values, which are load content. And then we are going to do var I size, I guess. And we'll say for I is enumerate the values. Right? Oh, values. Yeah, okay. And we'll say I or value or FMT print line values collect values, right? No, I have values. Is it not gonna values dot collect at I? Oh, because I need to dereference it. Go is weird sometimes. Nope. Dot. There you go. Okay, and then we're gonna print the values. I'm not zoomed in, am I? No. Has it been alright to follow along even though I'm not zoomed in? Value. And then key is not used, or value of type int result collect. Oh, yeah, okay, dot keys. Okay, so var I is an int, and then key is equal to result keys at I. Okay. That looks good. That looks very good. Yeah, and then just so that I know that there's no trailing spaces, I will do this. There we go. Okay, I like that. That's good. Yep. Okay. Awesome. I do want to do sorting, but that might be next stream. Okay, so we've gotten the keys. We've gotten the keys down. What else do I want to do? My mic is still on. You know, sometimes I forget that. Let's see. I guess I could do scraping. So then load, we'll do scrape mango. Right. Oh no, I'm putting these in the command folder because, like, I think they are, like, separate executables, but, like, they don't, like, have a main function. You know, they are separate operations of the program, but they are different things. So that's where I'm at in my headspace. Yeah, anyway, so we're going to, I think, do concurrency. And I have a way of doing concurrency that just I do it in every project. So okay, I think what I want to do, how can I, well, okay, so I think first I need concurrent get. I think that is the way we do this. We do concurrent get, and I need a URL, an API key, and I believe a title. And these are all strings. Yes. Okay, and then what I want to do is do var var const. Can I make, is smprintf here? Okay, so let's try this out. Can I do this? I would need like a base URL and everything, but is this a decent constant? URL. Is this gonna give me a invalid constant? Is not constant. Yeah, okay. We'll do variable then. But I tell you what I can do for constants. We'll do constructed URL is what we'll call this. And what I can do as constants is base URL. Of course, we have the base URL already. Oh shit! No, I can't. Yeah, because I need to load the API key. Oh. Well, that sucks. That fucking sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. I want to kind of factor this out. That's what I'm getting at, is I want to factor this out into not being a constant. Maybe I can do that as just a string. Is that possible? I don't know if that's possible. That might be possible. So we'll do URL format. Sure. Is that possible? I think that might be possible. Okay. And we'll say URL format. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then I also need, what else do I need? URL crew escape. I need channels, but, right. So do I need an exception channel? I think I need an exception channel. Yeah. So we'll make a result channel, which is a channel of a HTTP response. And we'll get an error channel. Which is, well, no, we'll call it, no, we'll do error. We'll do error. I was gonna call it exception, but I think error just works as a write-only channel of error. And first thing we do is we defer close on both our channels. Make sure everything's tidied up at the end. Make sure we're not leaving an open channel, leaking any resources. And then it essentially just does this. Yeah, but concurrent. If that makes any sort of sense. So var response, which is an HTTP response, and var get error. And I think this is going to be an exception instead of an error. It's going to be our URL instead of our base. Well, no, maybe I can call this base. Maybe I can, yeah, base URL. There you go. Right? Yeah, base URL, because it's in a separate package. So, response and get error. And if the response does not equal nil, we do the result channel of, we write to the result channel nil, and we write to the error channel a GoPoltools new named exception. I guess I don't have like an HTTP request error. Maybe I could just make one real quick. I think I'm going to make a new const block for this. I guess request error. Which is an exception name, and that'll be request error. And that's how easy it is to make a new exception. Using this library, and we'll say that we'll just use the get error. There you go. Okay. Else we will return the result channel. We'll write to the result channel the response, and we'll write to the error channel. Awesome. Cool. So then we can make our channels. Response channel, which is a channel of an HTTP response, and is equal to making a channel of response and buffer it with 1. Just because like it won't, it's really only sending one request. But you want to buffer it for that one request so it's not blocking, and it just works a little bit faster, performance-wise. So then we want to do I don't give a fuck about this, and we'll do go concurrent get. We'll spin up a go routine, which is the base URL. Not URLs, we'll do base URL, the API key, and the title. As well as we get our response channel and our error channel. It's not a response of an exception, it is, or a response of a response channel of response, it is a exception channel. There you go. And then we'll block, and we'll say response, yes, var response. Where am I using the response? here, right? Yeah. So I don't need to make the results. That can be down here. Okay, I guess I kind of have to do it here. I have to block here, which is the response. Not request, response. And var accept, which is a Tools exception. And we'll say response is equal to the response channel read, and accept is equal to the error channel read. And if error does not equal, oh well, no, maybe, do I need, no, I don't think I'm going to return an error channel. I think I'm going to panic. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Yeah. We're going to do that, and we're just going to say panic. I think panicking is okay in this context. And we do not need an error channel. Therefore, we do not need an exception channel, because our error handling is done in the concurrent function itself. And it shortens the function a little bit more, which is good. So we defer close, and then we read, and then we get an object. Do I want to do an object? I think I want to do an object. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think I'll leave it like that. That's fine. Right, now we get the movie data. What are we doing? Base URL. We don't have the base URL, which is correct. Do we want to pass in the base URL? Yeah, I think we could pass in the base URL. Which is a string. And then the request limit. Okay, so then I'll take that here. And that is a variable. Request limit reach. And then we marshal it to bytes. I want to change that later because we don't know if it's, well, we do know it's going to be a JSON response, but on the website you can actually do XML. So I kind of want to like prepare for that just in case like I want to do XML in the future. I don't, but I'm just saying like I want a little flexibility. That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's good water. I have where I live is a very good water filtration system. Like the city itself, like this is just regular tap water, but the city itself, they have very good filtration. You know, I know because I used to work in that department, and I also have like my neighbor also works in that department, so I know kind of like what goes on in the water filtration. I know what goes on in my city sewers. Yeah, I did have a couple of odd jobs growing up. That was one of them. Structure, and then we need a base URL because we just deleted a base URL for literally no reason. Unless it's in load. Is it in load? Might be in load. Nope. And I don't think it's in scrape either, is it? Nope. Okay. So we need the base URL, which is just openapi.com. Like that. Okay. And then everything should still work. It should actually be a little bit faster. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should do like semaphores or like mutexes. I don't know. Like a fan in, fan out pattern. A bunch of Golang hand wavy buzzwords. But I don't know. Maybe. I'll figure shit out. Collections, right? It's a new array. So I guess so the flow of this application, is we load the directory of each title, process the directory as well, and then we get each key and value, and we process that, and then let's get rid of that, and then we'll go to main, get movie data. I think just like scrape movie data. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to move that function around. Like make one that takes in a title and like gets all the data. I don't know. I think that might be an off-stream thing. Speaking of off-stream, I really have to pee. I've been drinking a lot of water today. So I think I'm just going to make everything top shape, and then we are just going to end the stream there. Keys, var key. Well, I guess no. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is do I just for a little performance boost. And we'll say key is equal to string and is equal to results keys at I. Oh, okay. There you go. And then result at, where are we getting result? Result is a file. It does have an at method. Result as value and variable that, what the fuck? Okay, maybe I just have to dereference it. I'm pretty sure I just have to dereference it. Cannot indirect result, interface type. You would be correct. Okay, so then we'll say scrape movie data, value movies, and then also we get our base URL. And what does this take? This takes movies, but I don't have movies, do I? I have an exception. And that, because we already define accept. And then writing here is just, it's already concurrent within the library, so I don't need to do anything else to that. Load oh, okay, so then it's just a pointer to load content then is why that's screaming at me. Yeah, okay. And then it needs a collection of models, movies. We don't really have movies, do we? So, no, we don't have movies. That is very interesting. Why do we not have movies? Where are the movies? What was this in the original application? It was just a move. Oh, it was just a collection, so that's like a result. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. So we have our movies here, and then that. Okay. I'm fine with that. All right. So that's the flow of the application, and we cleaned this up a lot. We did. We cleaned this up a lot. We moved everything out. And these functions, this one's a little tight, I would say. And then some of this needs to be maybe moved away. Maybe I can add state to this. Maybe we can make like not functions, but structures to this, and like it so it's not like functional. I don't mean not functional. I mean not in a functional paradigm. Let's see if I'm still in request fail. Yeah, request limit still reached. So I'm gonna take that as a sign. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. So we're gonna do var, or no, const. Data folder. Yeah, data folder. String is equal to data. And we're gonna say path, I guess, right? Or folder. Yeah. Folder string target folder. There we go. Target folder. Just a string and is equal to filme. Just means films for those that don't speak Russian. That's a joke. That's probably already inferred. Path from, and then we could do path from parts, which is data folder, and then we'll do the target folder, and the suffix is file. And I believe this still works. I'm not going to do any web scraping. Yep, still works. All right. Oh, I deleted printing. Fuck. I gotta write that print function again. Why did I delete that? Fine. All right. Var I int. Oh, okay. No, you know what? Actually, that's fine. I'm gonna trust the output, the folder. Yeah. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for now. Oh no! Wait! Whoa! Actually, no. We're gonna do our paths as global values. So we're gonna say target. Oh yeah, okay, so we'll say target folder name, and then target folder, which is a path, just so that we have everything as a path, and we know all our configuration data up front. That's why I don't really like global variables, but I think in Golang, that's kind of sometimes the best way you can handle your configuration. And I do have plans to make a wait, it's a target folder name, to make a configuration structure, so like a setting structure, so it's not just this, but yeah, okay. So then we'll do root new directory. No, we want to do a target folder, and we'll say a dump folder. Yeah, dump folder, which is a file path and is a file path from parts. Our parent will be the, I guess, the current directory, right? Path dot, do I have current? Oh, file current. Do I have like current? I have current operating system, but I do not have like current path, which I think I should probably update. That's something I can do in the next version of the library. File. Okay, so that'll be just the current working directory, and the file name is data. I guess I could do data folder, yeah, just so that like it's all constants. And we'll say file JSON. Okay. And that will be our jump folder. Just to get rid of some of the hard-coded values. Right? Like, okay, so the hard-coded values I don't want here is this, is the API key actually reading the key. Other than that, everything is like out in the open, which is fine. Yeah, so I like the way this turned out, and it was kind of quick and convenient, despite the fact that we literally ran out of requests and could not get like actual data. But that is something we will overcome in the next stream, in the sense of probably we'll be done with actually web scraping in next stream, and then more we'll do sort of the data collection and serving of our own API, if that makes any sort of sense. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the socials and the channel links. Has been there, will be there, and always has been there. Check out the VOD channel. It's there as well. If you're on YouTube, check out the Twitch stream live. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe. Peace.